Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with My Little Pony Make Your Mark, episodes 13 and 14. The finale of the season, included, or not the season, of this chapter, included in this. So, you may be thinking, like, didn't you just do an episode of this yesterday? And I did. But I decided since I'm already finishing off Vox Machina today as well, might as well just close them both out together. I know it's like kind of a weird combination, My Little Pony and Vox Machina, but I just thought like I plan on closing them both out this week anyway because I wanted to have MLP done before TrotCon, which is next week. And I could have finished the final episode or even the final two episodes next week, but I'm probably not going to do a lot next week, and I think this actually helps, like, kind of keep things slow, if you will. So, we'll just do this today as well, get it taken care of. So, last time we had Misty sneak away and end up joining the rest of the main five the main five at the Masquerade Ball, in which she became a lot better acquainted with Zip, and they formed a bond, and very much hammered in the idea of them being a ship to me. Like I had said, I was already kind of thinking like they could possibly be a ship because of who I was already shipping. I already shipped Sunny with Izzy, and I already shipped Pip with Hitch. So Zip was already like kind of missing out. So it's like I didn't really have a ship for her. So I was just trying to think like if Misty joins, that could possibly be, or when Misty joins, that could possibly be the last ship that we need. And lo and behold, that the last episode just really gave us fuel for that. Like, holy shit. The fuel was strong in that one. And I'm in for it. And I'm fully confident and fully proud of the ships that I have for this series. Honestly, I'm actually a lot more confident in these ships than I was for the G4 ones. Because it's like with Pinkie Pie, for example, I mostly shipped her with Rainbow Dash, but also I acknowledge that shipping her with Twilight also works, but also shipping her with Fluttershy kind of works. It's like plus there's also Princess Skystar from the movie, and it's like that ship is like fucking adorable. And it's like, the problem is a lot of the characters in G4 worked with other characters a lot, easily. But with this one, Sunny is really the only one that can go with anyone else, I feel. Like, Sunny is the only one that you could probably ship with any of them, and it would work. But Hitch, I can't see Hitch being with anyone but Pip. Maybe Sunny, but that's a big maybe. I think that's more just based on the entire them being childhood friends, and I don't think there's enough actual romantic I hate it when my mind does this. Chemistry. I don't think there's actually a lot of romantic chemistry from his angle there. And Zip, I don't see her being with anyone else at all. The entire Zip Hitch thing, I do not subscribe to at all. Pip, I can't see with anyone else. I genuinely cannot see Pip with anyone else. Sunny, I could see with anyone from, again, it's from her angle. I could see Sunny having interest in anyone else, but I can't like see Pip having interest in Sunny. If you understand what I'm trying to say here. But yeah, the point is, I'm very sure of these ships no matter what. Like I'm very on board with Sunny and Izzy, very on board with Pip and Hitch, and Zip and Misty. Again, unlike with G4, this seems more solid to me. And I kind of wonder if it was like intended, like if they did that on purpose, Because the thing is, there are people like from who worked on G4 who are working on this. I mean, GM Barrow, Jillian Barrow, is a massive example. She started off writing like chapter books and stuff for G4, but then started actually writing on the show during its later half. And now she's basically one of the big leads for G5. And it's like, yeah, it kind of makes sense if she was like kind of continuing with some of those vibes. I would be all for that if that were the case. And the showrunners and everyone working on G4 by the end were very aware of the ships and very like aware of making it clear on things. Like with Rainbow Dash and Applejack by the end. Like there was no subtlety in the fact that they got together. But yeah. So I'm excited to see how this chapter ends. It's kind of leading me to believe that Misty is going to abandon Opaline by the end of this chapter. But it's hard to say if that's actually going to be what's going to happen here. Or if we are going to wait till the end of the season with the next chapter's release in September. But I do want to mention something else real quick before we start. Sometime after TrotCon, probably in the week afterwards, I am going to be doing an MLP Make Your Mark AMV. I've done various other AMVs on the channel, but we are going to be doing one for Make Your Mark. If you want to know what the song is going to be, I basically said what it was on the Discord. The Discord gets information sometimes a little quicker than otherwise. So if you really want to know early what the AMV for Make Your Mark is going to be, you can go to the Discord and find out there. But otherwise, like I said, it will be out probably the week after TrotCon, so that's like 2 weeks away. Approximately, because I have to work on it and everything. It's not going to be a long one like some of the others. It's not going to be super long. I will say that. But yeah, that will be coming the week after TrotCon. Once again, TrotCon is next week, and I will be meeting the voice of Misty, Baya Watson, there. I'm very excited for that. I don't think I'm going to really focus on meeting any of the other guests at the moment unless they announce someone else. But we'll see. Anything can happen. But either way, yeah, I'm excited to get to these final 2 episodes, so let's just do it. When the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episodes. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, Misty is fully siding with our heroes now. She's basically become the last member of the main 6 at this point. But the question is, why is she still seeming to stay with Opaline? To act as a spy, maybe? That's the only thing I can think of. But that last little bit at the end there really got me interested. So let's talk about that first. Opaline said that Sparky woke up and said that must mean that other dragons could be waking up. What does that mean? So the dragons were asleep? But we saw Sparky come out of the egg and all, right? So Sparky is a newborn, so Sparky didn't like necessarily wake up, unless the sleep that they were put into like turned them back into eggs or something. But I don't feel like that would make a lot of sense. But that definitely raises a lot of interesting lore questions for sure. Yeah, that's really, really interesting. And I have no idea where that's going to go at this point, but I'm very excited to see where the season ends now with the next set. Um, so let's talk about the first of these two episodes. So Pip was sick. She started coming down with sickness during a live stream, had to cancel it, and so she decided to, take the day to get better. Her friends started trying to help her, which included Sunny going to Zephyr Heights to try and get soup that her mother would make her, which we find out she didn't make her. Hitch and Sparky and the animal friends do a bunch of entertainment stuff. Zip gives her some books to read, and Izzy tries to get her a magic tea made, but eventually just settles on regular tea. Zip also goes through her theories about the enemy with Pip while Misty is there. Misty comes because she saw the stream as well. And so, yeah, Misty has to tries to turn them off of that, but not really doing well at that. So she goes back and tells Opaline what's going on, that they've figured things out. And so Opaline decides that they have to move ahead with their plans quicker than expected. But Pip eventually does get better with rest, with tea, with the soup that Sunny gets her. All works out. Even though the soup wasn't actually homemade by her mother, it was from a food cart. But everything works out. It's a cute little episode that leads us into the finale. The Misty and Opaline stuff really leads us in, but the rest of it's just kind of like the calm before the storm situation here. And that's fine. I think doing that before a big finale is a completely fair thing to do, so no issue there. And so we have the finale. Misty succeeds in dragon napping Sparky, and Opaline begins to siphon away his power. Misty feels bad about this and decides to go get the main five for help, but when she brings them back, they end up getting captured by Opaline and finding out that Misty has been working for her this whole time, which obviously leads to a lack of trust, which is kind of expected. But Misty decides she's done with this and decides to try and help. So she breaks them out of the bubble, which causes her to get her cutie mark, finally being true to herself and finally refusing to be evil and everything. This allows the others to trust in her again, and they formulate a plan which allows them to temporarily capture Opaline after quite a fight between Opaline and Sunny. But Misty chooses to kind of remain behind, on top of just in general choosing to pretend that she was still loyal and everything. I have to assume it's just to work as an insider, because there's no other reason for it at this point. She's actively against Opaline. She even came to them afterwards and told them, it's like, I'm fully with you guys now. So the only reason she would stay behind with Opaline to any degree now would be to act as a spy and to let everybody else know what's going on at all times. But yeah, it's like, otherwise I don't really know. I don't really think it could be anything else, honestly. But I'm very, very interested to see where this goes next, because we have 6 more episodes in the next batch, and that's going to end things out, because after that, in December, we get Secrets of Starlight, which is, I'm calling it Season 2. That's basically from what we have with the information right now. And when I title that with the videos, I'm probably just going to say Secrets of Starlight Episode 1. because it's basically being listed as another thing. If we ever return, if it does end up returning to Make Your Mark after Secrets of Starlight, then I'll probably at that point add, I'll probably either continue listing the episodes as is, or I will list it as another season. It's hard to say though, because they're definitely organizing things very differently with this series. It's not being done in the way it normally would be, and so it's hard to kind of know how to do this, how to organize this. Um, I'm definitely gonna have Secrets of Starlight listed separately though, with the titles and probably with a different playlist as well. I just think that's the right way to handle that. But as for after that, who knows? Um, but as I've said before, tell your tale stuff. We are not going to get into that. I said that last time, I believe. But yeah, we're not going to do tell your tale after all. I'll just probably try to get to that on my own time. Hopefully, I don't just lose track of it again and just not watch. But that kind of brings us into what's going to replace this. And before we get to that, I just want to bring up real quick. I mentioned Misty is kind of fighting for Pip to become my new favorite, and this last episode specifically really helped with that. Pip is still my number one right now, but Misty is actually getting a lot closer. Also, her cutie mark is great, and the moment she gets her cutie mark is probably my favorite moment in the series so far. It feels so well earned and worked up to. It was so well handled in terms of the writing and the pacing with that. I really like how they handled that. So, although Pip is still just personally my number one right now, Misty is getting closer and closer. By the end of the season, as I'm calling it, she might even take that number one spot. It's very possible. But yeah, let's get back to what I was saying before, though. What is going to replace this? And you may be thinking like, oh, I thought you weren't going to necessarily replace this with something. And I believe that's how I worded it. Because I kind of thought, like, we kind of reorganized how the channel banner is organized with the different shows we do. If you've looked on the channel banner recently, you may notice it's kind of in 3 different columns. And you may be wondering, why does it look specifically like that? And the answer is because they're kind of 3 separate columns now and 3 separate stages of the series I'm reacting to. I worded it something else on Discord, and I don't remember. Let me look it up. This all has a point. I promise. This all has a point, so I just want to make sure I get it here. And while I'm at it, I should bring up this. I just want to make sure I just want to make sure on what I called it, you know? So it should be right in here. Tiers. I called them tiers. Okay. So if you look at the channel banner, it has 3 columns or tiers. The first column, which currently on the banner will show My Little Pony, Total Drama, and Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, is the tier I'm referring to as the priority tier. What that means is that they're the shows that I want to focus on the most because they're the ones I'm enjoying the most. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to be the only things I react to, or I'm going to like just ignore the other shows in favor of them. But they're the ones that are kind of the big ones for me at the moment. The central tier is the chosen tier. And what this means is that these are shows that have been chosen for me to react to, whether as donation rewards or as poll shows. So like you see, what's on there right now is Vox Machina, which is a poll series. Though obviously that's going to be changed, and I'll get to that in a minute. But Fire Force, which is a donation reward. And the final tier is the occasional or intermittent tier. What did I call it on the Discord? Let me see. Priority chosen periodic. That's what I called it there. Periodic works too. Anything like that. Shows that I don't do as often as other. Like, for example, right on there right now is One Piece, which, as you know, I've been doing in batches lately. I do a bunch of episodes together and get them up all at once. So it's not an every week thing. It's every so often, basically. Every, 4 or 5 weeks, something like that. I do multiple episodes together. And then the other one in the periodic tier is Last Man Season 2, which, due to its length and just the material of it, I tend to get to less often. It's one of those shows I don't get to, super constantly. Like, every 2 weeks or so. Every 2-3 weeks. Something like that. So that's basically the tiers. And I'm saying all this, I'm going through all this to kind of note to you what the new setup for that is going to be, because this is not the only show that is being finished today. You may have also noticed that Vox Machina is closing out today. So in the Vox Machina reaction, I reveal what is replacing that. So that is going to take the spot for the Pull show. So that's staying in the middle. Now, what is replacing this? Well, this is going to stay on the priority side of things, the priority tier, because Ghost and Molly McGee Season 2 is returning. I almost forgot about this. I legitimately almost forgot about this returning. In fact, I think the first 2 episodes came out today on the app. Although they're also airing next weekend and then the weekend after. So we're not going to get any more episodes after that for a few weeks. But Ghost of Molly McGee is back. And so that's going to take over for Make Your Mark right away. Obviously, I'll get to them intermediately. I don't want to get to them too quick and then have multiple weeks where we just have nothing. But I'll still get to them. I'll try to pace them out properly, these 2 episodes, as best I can, at least, But yeah, so that is going to be replacing Make Your Mark, and the channel banner should be updated by the time you see this, or maybe later on today. I don't know exactly when you're going to be seeing this, but yeah, sometime around today. It should be updated, so you should see everything new with that. But yeah, I'm very excited to get to more Ghost of Molly McGee. You guys know I love this series. I really do. So I'm happy to get back to more of it. It ended off on a really good note with the last set of episodes. So I'm really hoping that it starts off just as good this time. I don't know. I know the episode titles have been released and revealed already. I have been avoiding those like the plague, though. I do not want to have any semblance of an idea of what these episodes are going to be about prior to watching them. So, yeah. I'm going to go in as blind as possible. I haven't checked out any trailers, if there are any. I haven't checked out any promotional stuff or the titles of the episodes. So, yeah. I'm very excited to be back to this. We'll get to the first episode when we're able. Might not be right away, but that's fine. Again, we're going to try to pace them out so that we can match it up with when the episodes start airing weekly. Because I don't like that they release multiple episodes ahead of time on the app. Because it's then of course I'm going to watch them on the app, but then I have to wait weeks to see more. It's so I have to pace them out to make it work that way. It's going to be hard, but it's going to be more rewarding in the end. So, yeah, that is what is replacing this. So yeah, we're keeping 7 shows currently on the list. But again, 2 of them are periodic. So it's more like we have 5 regular shows that we're doing currently. So still not that bad. I think we can handle this as we're doing right now. And yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes. I'm excited to see where we go with the final 6 episodes of this season in September. We will definitely be bringing Make Your Mark back like right away as possible with that. But in the meantime, tell me in the comments below, what did you think of these final 2 episodes of Make Your Mark's 4th chapter? And for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.